We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going down at the moment, and the big question is, why is Bitcoin going down? We had the Fed meeting yesterday. We had Jerome Powell talking to the public yesterday. We have a lot of other topics that we have to talk about. We have something in terms of Bitcoin legislation. We have earnings that were coming out from companies. We have a lot to talk about, and also Veve and Ecomi. There is a couple of things. I have a new item in my collection that I want to show you as well later on in the stream. But let's jump right into the topic here with all of you. So, good morning, every one of you. And I see that a couple of people are already here. Trucking Hank, good morning. What is going on? How are you doing all? And what do you think about the Bitcoin price movement at the moment? We are sitting, for everyone that is driving, we are sitting at 64,284. Good morning, Jonas. Nice to see you as well. So, rare hodlers in the house. So we are below 65,000 now, and yeah, there are a couple of reasons that we need to discuss. So let's maybe jump already right into it here with the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin at 64,285, and the fourth red candle, if we were staying like that since 4 days. So we are down about 10% from when we were hitting 70,000 once again. So this is only a couple of days ago, and we have been correcting ever since. I think the reason for this is, there are two reasons basically, or two main reasons. One of those reasons is that we had the Fed Chair Powell. So CNBC says Chair Powell gives the September rate cut signal that traders were hoping for. Now, I think that from when I was listening to it, it was less certainty for the rate hike in September expressed than the market was hoping for, or at least than the Bitcoin investors were hoping for. Because he was always saying like, you can't, like, you have to wait for the data, and you can't too soon, and you can't too late, and whatnot. So he still implied that very likely they're going to cut rates in September, but he also said that they will make it dependent on CPI, which means that we need to wait for the next CPI reading to come in, and if that is good, then the market will have the certainty, and until then, it seems that we will be staying in this range between 60 and 70,000, and just keep on trading. So this was kind of expected. I mean, we have talked about it, that we are expecting Bitcoin to stay a little bit more in this range. Maybe the whole August. But on the other hand, if you see how Bitcoin closed the month, that was kind of bullish. So look at that here. Let's get this a little bit bigger. I mean, the whole chart looks juicy. So the monthly candle close is this kind of, it's not the wick to the upside is too high. It's not like a super clean hammer, but it's a bullish one in general. And what you can see, if we would, once again, if we would draw in this line here a little bit differently, let's make this orange. And then you take this upper line, make that orange, and you put it like this. You literally have like this massive bull flag, and there is room for this bull flag to have another flat candle in either direction in August, whole August, to say like close like this. Let's say it closes like this, wicks to both sides, like the other way, and then the breakout in September. It would be possible, right? I mean, we could also break out right now because we never know what catalyst is suddenly coming in. But on the monthly, it looks extremely bullish. The TSI is fine. It's moving sideways. It's waiting to go up as well. The RSI is not overbought, not in the least. So there is room for this massive leg up. And I think we're just gearing up for that. The question is, when exactly will this come in? Potentially only in September. So we would have more time to accumulate. We have more time to actually buy some cryptos, and especially, I mean, altcoins, right? But the other side is, and it's not really reflecting at the moment in CNBC, but there is also a little bit of worries because at the moment, Israel and the Hamas and the Hezbollah are going hard at each other. So I think yesterday in airstrikes, they like Israel killed two of the terrorist group leaders of one of each group. So and now everyone is worried that this is spiraling out of control, obviously. So that is another reason. But enough with that. Let's go to the let's continue a little bit more on the Fed Chair Powell's statement. So here we have a little summary. And by the way, we have over 10 people here, so make sure to smash up the like button right now, please, for the stream, to pump it out to more people. Every like, basically for every like, we're being presented to another person or something like that. So here, so no decision being made regarding the September cut. That is why people are like me. Attentive to risk on both sides of the dual mandate. Okay. Fed will assess incoming data for future decisions. So this means now the incoming data has more weight gearing up to September. And Q2 inflation readings have added confidence on inflation. So the inflation readings are of highest importance. Reducing rates too late could unduly weaken the economy, exactly. But I think still, from what I heard yesterday, it seems that they would rather go too late with a rate cut than too early. Because the problem is, if you go too early and inflation does what it did in Germany, you remember yesterday's stream, what it did in Germany, because European Central Bank, they lowered the rates already a couple of months ago, and now the inflation is ticking up by 0.1. That's not what you want to see, because then you have this one rate cut, but then you have to hold the rate high stable for another, I don't know how many months. So they are probably going to be a little bit late, see a very strong decline or whatever, and then they can subsequently reduce, right? So they are like, oh, we need still greater confidence and so on. So this puts impact on the news, on the data that is coming out in the next months. I don't know if there's nothing scheduled yet here in this chart, but we will keep a close eye on it when stuff like CPI is coming out. And then also there were earnings reports, and one of the earnings reports for Q2 was Tether. Very interesting. So Tether reports a $5.2 billion profit for the first half of 2024, and 4.7 billion in Bitcoin holdings as of now, and a record of 97.6 billion in US treasuries. which is basically Tether is surpassing Germany, the United Arab Emirates, and Australia in terms of holding U.S. treasuries. That is crazy. So imagine, and by the way, hey Troy Paris and hey Mr. Planet Profit, what's going on? Imagine Tether really collapsing. I mean, like the $5 billion isn't even probably then the problem anymore. It's like offloading 100 billion in treasuries is also not fun. But yeah, this would be like, if this happened one day, this would be so crazy. So Tether is like, Tether is just a huge, it's a giant. Yeah, so we see this here in this list. Is very interesting. Also, and this is now, let's come to the bullish and not so depressing stuff, to the bullish stuff. So here is the official strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation proposal from Cynthia Lummis. So if this was approved, they would buy technically millions of Bitcoin, right? So they say here, a Congress second session to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve and other programs to ensure the transparent management of Bitcoin holdings of federal government to offset costs utilizing certain resources of the Federal Reserve System and for other purposes. So, and Cynthia Lummis also said that Bitcoin could help in paying off this massive U.S. debt. We will take a look in a second again at it, because this reserve and what Powell just said, they come nicely together if we're looking at U.S. debt, right? So she's introducing the following bill. So to establish strategic Bitcoin reserve and other programs to ensure the transparent management of Bitcoin holdings of the federal government to offset costs utilizing certain resources of Federal Reserve System and for other purposes. Be it enacted by the Senate of House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, and so on. Boosting technology and competitiveness through optimizing investment nationwide, and so on. So what they are proposing is to hold the Bitcoin for at least 20 years. For at least 20 years. So imagine the Bitcoin that they already have, plus the Bitcoin that they might buy, and then plus 20 years hodling. That would put a whole nother pressure on it. Let's see here also, they linked the full bill. So this from the Cynthia Lummis side. Let's see if we can get a little bit more information, because I read this before here with the 20 million, but it's actually not in that one. Yeah, so here. So what does it contain? Establish a decentralized network of secure Bitcoin vaults operated by United States Department of Treasury with requirements ensuring the highest level of physical and cyber security. So they basically not losing the seed phrase to anyone else. Implement a 1 million unit Bitcoin purchase program over a set period of time to acquire a total stake of approximately 5% of the total Bitcoin supply. This is crazy, right? So imagine someone would approve a bill and telling you before that they are going to absorb 5% of the entire Bitcoin supply and hodl it for 20 years. You can make a whole nother calculation of this, right? This alone would bring Bitcoin far beyond 100K, right? So, and then if everyone would know that before, everyone has to buy Bitcoin knowing that, right? Be paid for by diversifying existing funds with the Federal Reserve System Department, affirm self-custody rights of private Bitcoin holders, and emphasize the strategic Bitcoin reserve shall not infringe upon individual financing freedom. So this is only a proposal, and I don't know. I have no idea what the chances are that this passes the Senate or whatever. But the the fact that this is out, like the fact that someone is proposing this alone makes this political debate. And if it's not now, it may be in the next cycle or so. It may be defining the next elections, right? But they will be trying to do this now. And still, Donald Trump can also, like, technically Donald Trump could probably, I'm not an expert in US law, but probably he can just sign an executive order and make this make this a law, something like that. Or make this happen, so to say. So that would mean that the next strategic or the next world reserve could be the orange. By the way, do you think it's funny that that Trump, the orange man, is bringing the orange pill to everyone if he's elected? Anyways, so we see here the Dutch, I think it was krone or something like that. Was the reserve currency declined. Then we had the British sterling, that was reserve currency declined. And then we have the US dollar here that is supposedly on a decline, but I don't see that weakness yet. But what's definitely coming is that Bitcoin is on the uprising. That is definitely true. And the question is that going to be the next reserve? That is at least at the moment it looks like the adoption is really, really high. If you consider all what is going on with the ETFs, also what I showed you yesterday about BlackRock and so on. Now let's come to a little bit more funny part. But I found this so. I don't know if you're following the Olympics, but this was really crazy. So this guy, the Korean guy, he came in like with all equipment. Like he had everything. He had even weapon skin and full armor. Look at that. Like he has had bandana. He has every item slot equipped, basically, with epic items. And I think he didn't even get to the medal. But this guy, he won silver. From Turkey, and he's just look at his bored face. Look at the facial expression here. He's like, yeah, man, whatever. I'm just going to aim and shoot, right? And then he has like this shirt for Turkey. It's like, anyways, so this is also. There are now a lot of Bitcoin memes, like here on the left, me with my MACD indicator and hash ribbons and everything else, and then just the other one just buying the dip, right? But yeah, Turkey nailed it, and I think that he won the silver medal. I think there was one other guy from Serbia or so. I don't know if it was Serbia or something like that. He won gold, but this guy nailed it. This guy is absolutely crazy. Anyways, I thought that was funny. So I will buy a diversified stock portfolio that will outperform the market. I just buy Bitcoin every month. That is basically what the strategies here are. Yeah. Orange man bringing Bitcoin to the people, that's lit. Yeah, and then also what no one had on this card, like there's not even one dull day in crypto, right? But 1 second here, Dead Rabbits Paris Olympic is getting terrible reviews. Also super low crowds in Paris. Yeah, I think they really fucked up with this intro that they did, right? I think that is a problem, and then also where the games exactly are located. They didn't build so much new stuff. I think this is problematic for them. But yeah, it doesn't get too much good reviews. Nonetheless, I'm watching some of the sport competitions because I'm interested. Like I like the Olympic, how is it called? Like the gymnastics. I like to watch that stuff because it's like crazy what some people can do with their body. And some other competitions, but it's not like I watch individual things, but it's not like that I'm cheering all day for this and that medal. But some things are just funny, and this is one of them. So, but it's getting even better. It's getting even better because look at that here. So Maduro. So Maduro, actually, we can watch this quickly. But Maduro of Venezuela, he challenged Elon for let me get this here, for fighting him on national television. I mean, this cycle cannot get better than it already is, right? So let me quickly here. Never. Whoever messes with Venezuela dries up. Elon Musk. You want to fight? Let's have it, Elon Musk. I'm ready. I'm a son of... And Chavez. I'm not afraid of you. Let's go at it wherever you want. You want it, I want it. Just say where. And he was like... And then Elon, when people retweeted this, Elon said, I accept, he will chicken out. And before, like, the reason why Maduro is so mad is because before already Elon Musk was tweeting a lot about Elon was tweeting out about how Maduro rigged the elections and so on, and then Maduro went mad on him if he wants war, and I don't know what, and then Elon asks if Maduro even has space lasers, but he would have space lasers and whatnot, so it's super funny. I mean, how crazy will this cycle get? There will be, probably there's already a Maduro meme coin or something like that. How crazy will this cycle get if Elon does things like this and constantly makes the news, and at the side, like at some point he will push the whole crypto thing, but it's crazy. So I accept, and he will chicken out. I'm looking forward to this fight. I just don't know how they are going to do it, because I'm 100% certain that Elon's not going to Venezuela, because otherwise he will probably have a problem. And on the other side, Maduro will not come to the United States, because I think he's wanted there also in the United States. So they have to go to like a neutral place where they can have their fight. But I would really love to see this. I mean, we already have this whole crypto fighting arena. So what would be really cool if they set up this fight, and in the breaks of the fight, they only roll like crypto ads. Only crypto ads allowed. That would be funny. So also, this is interesting. Now let's come back to more serious stuff. The Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF with the ticker BTC just went live for trading. So Grayscale did the same that they did with the Ethereum mini trust. For Bitcoin now, they realized they will only have more Bitcoin outflows out of their trust and not gain anything from it if they don't offer something with way cheaper fees. And that's what they did. They have now the cheapest ETF of them all with only 0.15%. So first they lost over 20.8 billion in assets. Now they started a cheaper ETF. Not sure if that was the plan. I think they thought they could capitalize a while with high fees on the Bitcoin. They caused the outflow, and now they want to capitalize on inflows. So yeah, it's like they learned. We saw that on Ethereum, and now they adapted their strategy. It's all fine, but one more ETF to put your assets in is always a good news, right? So it's just more channels for people to buy Bitcoin. So overall, I think this is bullish for the market. Maybe people will move out of Bitcoin out of the normal Bitcoin trust and put it into the Bitcoin ETF of Grayscale as well, because of the low fees. Either way, this is positive. And then here we have, speaking of the Bitcoin ETFs, this is really bullish. So this is the purchase price and also time, and obviously you can see like the purchasing in the beginning was very low, like the price was very low, so purchasing went crazy. They purchased a lot of Bitcoin, but then now beyond 200,000 Bitcoin, it took a lot to come to 300,000 Bitcoin in the ETFs. But you have to consider the prices has doubled. So obviously it takes double the time now or with the same money inflow, it takes double the time to accumulate another 100,000 Bitcoin. So it's basically the same as allocating that money here and here. Now, what that also means is, and this is really bullish, is that there was still, by reaching these levels, there was still a continuous up move of accumulation for Bitcoin happening, right, over the time. Even though that Bitcoin was ranging, the ETFs were accumulating. That also means that these inflows into ETFs, the ETFs are not the reason that we're consolidating. So there is other reasons. That is retail sellers and miners and governments that are selling. So these are the three seller groups, but it's not the people. I mean, there were a couple of negative days in ETFs. So yes, there were some outflows in the ETFs, but we see it also here, right? There were some outflows, but overall we're looking up, but the price didn't go up. From here to here, there's a big move, right? Also, you see the price was the same. You see this with the heat map. Here 70K, and now we're close to 70K. But more Bitcoin locked up. So this is also interesting. Mark D says the simulation is totally glitching out. Absolutely agree with you. Chris Stone says Wagwan Squad. Let's go. I don't know what that is, by the way. So, but the real reason why Bitcoin is going to fly soon is this. This is the M2 supply year over year change. And look what just happened. It just flipped. Actually, it flipped. This is not actualized. I see this right now, but the chart I have for you in a second. So this is on March, and here is like, this is only made, so there's a candle missing or something, or it's like super flat. But this cross here in the M2 supply means that, imagine when this happens, right? When the M2 supply behaves like this here, all the green chunk. So this is going to happen because, oh, by the way, because let's look at the chart, and then we have to go to the US debt clock once again. So this is the M2 money supply, and it's coiling up. So you see this M2 money stock of the Federal Reserve, and we have seen like the money. Basically, March 22 was like the peak of the money supply, and we were crossing down. So at that point, it didn't go higher anymore, right? So February 22 to March, we were already in the crypto bear market. Work one is what's going on, what's up. Oh, okay. Finally. I understand now. Thanks. So we were like M2, like the money in circulation, basically it decreased overall quite significantly since 2022. So basically, since more than 2 years, we are in this decrease, and then in February 24, in October 23, we have a bottom. And what else bottomed in October 23? Actually, it was at October. I think I'm confusing the years now. Let me see quickly. So no, we bottomed in November 22. So this is where we bottomed, and then we reversed, right? So we see that it's lagging behind a little bit the curve. Where is my chart, by the way? Where's my chart? So we're lagging behind. So we bottomed. Where is the bottom? Yeah, we bottomed already here, basically, September, October, November. We bottomed here on the way downwards. So now it's coiling up. So this takes the time to get effect, right? Very interesting. So now, how does this work? Let's go to US debt clock. There it is. usdebtclock.org. You can open the site, so you don't need me. You don't need me for that. But let's go a little bit here to the upper left in this chart. So we opened this as well. But the problem is this, right? And there are two components to this. And there's also the interest on that. That is this one here. Let me move the chat quickly to the downside here. So there is also this. Let me move the chat out. So there's a whole lot of numbers, but this here is important over my head, so to say, because we are at 907 billion with it for the US in interest payments on that debt here, here on top, right? And then you have the US federal spending that is also going higher because of that, right? And now there are two mechanisms to get this down, to decrease the acceleration, because you see this is like going crazy, it's going nuts. And if you wouldn't do anything, you would go, the government would go bankrupt, or they do something too drastic, they would go into hyperinflation, right? So these are the two catastrophic scenarios, right, that could be happening. Now, one way is to lower the interest rates. We have seen that Powell is not going to do this. So for another 1.5 months, so for another 50 days, this clock is going to go nuts on exactly this pace. What they are also going to do is they have to refinance part of the debt, right? So at least they have to take monies from somewhere to pay off these 907 billion. Okay. So how do they do this? They print money and then they give it to the people that they are owing, like to the companies, to the banks, to the where this is owed. And most of it is like treasuries and whatnot, right? So they have to pay a lot back. So let's say you're a guy that bought government bonds, right? So at some point the government has to give you your money plus interest rate, right? So that is the debt that they have with you. So let's say $10,000 in bonds plus the percentage over the years. So this is a part of this plus a part of the interest rate that we have here. So they would they would print it and then give it to you, right? Or they take it from the taxpayer and then give it to you, right? So this is the only way that they can get it and give it to you. But that also means that now you have 10,000 plus interest rate free to do something, right? So this is only on one example what is happening. But that makes, so now then you see, oh, this wasn't really good. I only got 5%, but inflation was 10% or 15% or whatever over the years. And so now I need something else. So I heard about this Bitcoin because they are all talking about it. So let me put the 10,000 or the $11,000 that this is now. Let me put this into Bitcoin. So this is how the money hits the market, right? In a very simplified way. Obviously, there are many more components to this because looking at this clock, right, what you want as well is that the economy gets boosted. So you lower the interest rate, economy can take more loans at a cheaper rate, so they can invest and grow. And at the other side, you can print money and put subsidizing into the economy so that the economy grows, and then you can collect more in taxes, right? So that's also what they are going to do. And many more components. But this is how the money flow will basically hit the market, right? So this thing here will hit the market hard. Overall, I think this was really good charting here. So overall, I like this very much. So from Bob Lucas here. So he is saying Bitcoin monthly candle about to close. So it did close like this. So this is valid now. Seriously, don't stress yourself. It doesn't get any prettier. Month 20 of a cycle that looks like all prior cycles to date. Big base build. So this is the base. Handle is being completed. Grab a nice cup and enjoy autumn. Fewer changes will be better. So basically what he's saying is like the cycle on the month where you are is basically looking the same as all the others here. So let me get the chat back up here, and it's forming this base that Bitcoin is forming is basically going to be where the bear market bottom of the next cycle is going to hit, very likely, right? So probably or at least coming close to it, right? So you see this base forming here, for example, under this, and then the bear market, it came to this. Here, for example, it didn't even come to this level, back to this level. So not only do we have a massive run in front of us, also if this is the base for either close to the bear market bottom, it also means that the prices that we get for Bitcoin at the moment, they are still fine compared to next cycle bear market bottom, right? So if you have a very long-term horizon for Bitcoin, as long as we are below that 70K, we're definitely at good prices to accumulate for long-term hodling, like 2 cycles out, and so like 1 or 2 cycles out is still very, very much very positive. And it doesn't stop. More good news, right? Fidelity International is listing a physical Bitcoin ETP, so that is the equivalent basically to a single asset ETF in Europe on the London Stock Exchange. So this also very good. Now institutions can act also on the London Stock Exchange. And what we also cannot discard is the growth that we are getting from AI. And what we saw yesterday was absolutely crazy. So NVIDIA, and we are going to listen to Mrs. Su here from AMD in a second, but NVIDIA stock yesterday, after correcting 10%, it went up, shooting up in a big rally, and it added to its market cap the entire size of what the market cap of Costco is in just that one day. That is super crazy, and it shows you how bullish people are on that whole AI narrative. So let's put it this way. So here we go. Let's listen to this quickly in terms of what AMD has to say about AI also.
You say something that I think was kind of jaw-dropping. I don't know if people understood that. You said, as a result, we now expect data center GPU, data center, Dave, that's important, okay? That's the AI there. Revenue to exceed $4.5 billion, up from $4 billion that you guided in April. You just guided up $500 million in one quarter?
Well, first of all, we had a very strong second quarter, very excited about the traction that we're seeing. It is all about AI. You know, I know that you guys were talking about AI in the earlier segment. There's no question that AI is like the biggest technology advance over the last 50 years, and we're very excited to be helping power that foundation. So yes, we were able to had a very strong data center quarter. We more than doubled our data center revenue in the second quarter, and we see strong growth into the second half of the year. So part of that is acceleration in our AI growth, and that's what allowed us to increase our guidance from greater than $4 billion 90 days ago to greater than $4.5 billion for the year.
So I think one of the biggest parts here is that she is saying that AI is the biggest technological advancement since 50 years. So that would be basically 50 years ago is 1985. So what does she mean? Probably the invention of the internet and then AI, right? I would argue that blockchain is also in that. But in terms of how it helps companies to grow, definitely AI is way bigger than blockchain. Blockchain technology is more like an infrastructure to make certain things happen and is crucial in the AI journey. So, for example, like certifying what is real content, like what is human produced content and what is AI produced content, or for example, having AI driven machines giving payment to each other, right? That all will need blockchain technology. But what is interesting is these companies, they are betting on AI, and already now they see growth acceleration in AI. So I personally, 1975? Okay, so then I don't know which technologies she means then, but oh yeah, you're right. I miscalculated there. You're right. Obviously, it's 25 here to full, and then 24 says 49 years. So AMD, they are betting on AI computers. So in another one that I don't have here right now, but she basically explains that AI will be part of every computer in the very near future, right? And I think this is very true. So think about the following. At the moment, everything that you get out of applications, it is either fixed content, or you have to give an input by yourself to then get close to a result that you want, like a normal calculator, something like that, right? Or a game, or so for example, in games, every dialogue and every content and quest line and whatever, it's predefined, it's preset. So think about the Elder Scrolls or World of Warcraft, it's predefined. But what if you have in games and in applications an AI that actually adapts to how you behave and adapts the content to you? Like entertainment wise, this is insane. In programming, that will be insane. Like if you have something like an AI assistant flowing around that at whatever app is helping you. For example, let's say you have an AI that based on your behavior before in your Outlook sorts emails and helps you prioritizing emails so that you can work from priority A to C, right? And it learns from your behaviors and can analyze content in those emails. And so the possibilities, like whatever app you're using today, tomorrow, so try to think how AI could improve it, and it will happen, and it's going to save so much money for companies and accelerate growth so much that I think the world in 10 years will be a different one. And now think about also when we think about games and entertainment and also about engineering programming, think about AI assistants flowing around or floating around, and in combination with here Meta Quest and Oculus Rift and the Apple Vision Pro and so on, like it didn't make any more news, right? Why? Because we don't really have this integration of all these technologies at the same time. But imagine how productive and how new you can work if you have 3D application from home with your Oculus. Inside there are AI assistants that are helping you with certain things, and all that. And probably I'm still scratching the surface. Probably I am not able to fathom exactly what is coming out of that. But I see it way more positive than many other people. They are seeing it negative, right? So there's the whole thing like, oh, AI is going to take over the world, and that is a risk, right? But AI taking over the world, killing every human being by the applications and so on. Obviously, there needs to be security measures to not have that happen. But on the other side, we see so much potential in helping us to accelerate our current technology. So if AI can help us to get 50 years earlier to new combustion or whatever, to new propulsion technologies, for example, then I think much is gained, right? It's basically a leap into the future. And also with like the whole metaverse thing, you always see, like, we all know the dangers of having like a machine world where we live like in the Matrix, right? This danger. And then everyone designs like these pictures where everyone has this Oculus on their heads and looks into nothingness and living in a small cubicle and so on. But the other side is, what if I always say this, what if it helps you to save time? So let's say you live in Tokyo or you live in Sao Paulo or one of these mega cities, and your drive to work, because you're a turbine engineer or something like that, your drive to work to meet with your colleagues is 2 hours going and 2 hours back. So you have 4 hours lost, and then you have 8-9 hours at the workplace. So you're adding up to 13 hours. So let's say you could stay at least some of the days at home, because now you have Oculus 3D environment with your assistants, AI assistants to help you, and you're saving 4 hours of your day that you can actually spend in reality and in nature because of all these technologies working together, you suddenly gain more reality time, right? So that would be crazy. So this is how you positively could use all of that, right? Trucking says, what if AI figures out how to stop aging? Yeah, exactly. I don't know if this would necessarily be a good thing, because what if the present life sucks in comparison to the afterlife, right? What if the present life is actually hell, and people with the help of AI find a way to stay in hell forever? This is like, so this is also a risk. I mean, this is something to consider, right? I mean, we can't know for sure, obviously, and but imagine this is like a baby. So this is now getting really philosophical, right? But Trucking Hank put this on. Like, imagine a baby in the womb is figuring out how to stay there for longer or even for eternity. So it will never come out and experience real life, breathing, walking, talking, meeting other people, creating a family, building a house, I don't know what, like see all the beautiful places on the world and so on. It will never be, because it figured out how to stay in the womb and says, oh nice, this is cozy, cozy warm liquid, I want to stay here forever, right? And it will basically deprive itself of the afterlife that comes after the womb. So if we think about death in that way, maybe we're just in the womb and we will prevent ourselves with anti-aging of what is coming after, right? On the other hand, you could also say, oh my god, big risk, why not take this anti-aging pill then? Because what if there is nothing, right? Yeah, big risk, but we don't know, yeah. And also, we don't know what it will do psychologically to people. Because death is the driver of all ambition, right, in the world. So would it stifle our growth then if we stop aging forever? Will we need some, exactly. So like not existing and existing for eternity, like forever, and I mean really forever, would be the same, basically. And imagine you prolong your life like for 10,000 years, and then you finally decide you are so bored, and then you find out on the other side that actually you deprived yourself of 10,000 years of nice afterlife. That is crazy. But we're living already longer than we did before, so we're kind of doing that. We're prolonging, but. Let's see where it's going. That was, sorry about that. I mean, if some people don't care, sorry about that. Smash up the like button right now for the stream, please, if you like the philosophical content as well. I will timestamp this later so that people can either find this or jump over this. But let's look at the market quickly. So we almost have nothing in the top 100 that is even green, which tells me this is time to buy the dip, right? Time to buy the dip, because look at that, like Mantle down 8%. I'm not saying buy dog with head, right? But there are other things like Solana, for example, is down 7.4% if you're bullish on Solana and you don't have enough or so. Rune down 10%, BitTensor down 7.8%, Injective down almost 7.5%, even Link down 4%. Link is very strong, like when we're correcting, and by the way, you cannot see that. Link is here. There it is, Link. Even when we see corrections like this, like Link is always super strong in that it doesn't correct so much. The graph down 6.6%, so also interesting. I will look today what is down, what I should accumulate, and then I will accumulate that for my portfolios, like a small DCA into some projects I will perform today. Let's also look at the top 200 here on the day. So all these meme coins that have been booming, they are now correcting hard, like Popcat, Dog. Dog is this like is on here on the side. Dog is this thing on Bitcoin, I think, this meme coin. Yeah. So by the way, where's EOS? By the way, I don't know where this is, but yeah, like everything is on discount today, and even on the week. I mean, on the week we see still some that are up on the weekly. Like here is EOS. How much is it down? 7%. So EOS is down 7%, but on the week still up 17%. So all that stuff is correcting together with Bitcoin now, and I think this poses some nice opportunities for us to build our bags for the mega run, right? And yeah, so let's check out maybe quickly the Bitcoin dominance here. So actually the Bitcoin dominance, it closed on also the monthly, and it's up again. Look at this. So it's exactly following the trajectory. Sorry about that. Following the trajectory here of what we designed for Bitcoin dominance. So now at the moment, Bitcoin is correcting, altcoins correcting harder, so Bitcoin dominance going up. We are at 56.15, and we closed the candle body at the cycle high. So this is a cycle high close. For it, no candle body closed higher than this. So this just underlines what I said, that we are in Bitcoin season, and it's not altcoin season, which means buying altcoins at the moment could be a very interesting thing to do. Also here for the altcoins, we kind of were looking at look at this, like the altcoins. So here the altcoins, we are in this altcoin channel. Also here we closed the monthly. By the way, altcoins closed the monthly in the red, right? So here we see the last weeks and so on, but closed the monthly in the red. And now it seems that we want to do another visit to the downside here for altcoins, and that could mean, at least to this, right? That could mean that we will have some unique buying opportunity throughout August for altcoins as well. So this is kind of interesting. It is interesting. I will definitely take advantage, or take the risk, so to say. I mean, it is risky, but we want to see that it stays in this channel. If it comes down here, it will lose billions. Like it will lose 40 billion. Coming back up will already be nice, and then the breakout. That is very likely to happen. I mean, there's always a risk that we break to the downside and we really lose a lot of the gains still. And keep in mind that when Bitcoin breaks out, it will still be Bitcoin season. The altcoins will go with it, but probably the Bitcoin dominance will still go higher, and altcoin season only next year. So we still have months to come for the altcoins to really perform. So definitely happening. Then yeah, let's look at Ecomi here quickly. What if something changed? How it's doing at the moment? Usually you have Ecomi in the green, and that's also the case right now. So here on the monthly, we see that there's a small green candle now. So usually when the market is down, the whales are trading into Ecomi, sometimes at least, but on the weekly we are still red. So we see this attempt to break out, and here the rejection on the weekly. So and now today on the daily we see that yeah, it tries to hold this trend line. Actually, you could also argue that you could put it like this, right? Also, it would on the wicks it would be still the trend line. It tries to hold this range, and we will see if it's capable of doing so. On that note, I think there's not much to say. I mean, look at this. Since we had these lows here for Ecomi, there's not much price action going on. It's like completely flat. The volume is very low since this one big purchase that happened here. And we will see how it develops, right? Now it's upon the execution of EOMI to NFT into Stacker and the adoption of all of that. I think this is now decisive for Ecomi, and then we need to see, we also need to have a trackable burn wallet for sure. for Ecomi, and so that we can know how the circulating supply is decreasing. And then people will start making the calculations again, and hopefully we will get some kind of person that develops some kind of dashboard or so, where we can follow how much EOMI has been burned each day and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but we are far from the turnaround, it seems, at the moment. Because, I mean, we have been building that base here for 500 days or so, and then we just lost it. So we will have to see now if there is a reversal eventually coming. But at least it didn't correct too hard with the current market situation. So Ecomi still staying in its range, which is at least something that you could rate as positive. Now, I want to show you something in my collection. So I got this here, Ultraman Rising poster, and now it's loading. Okay, nice. I really love when things are loading 20 seconds or so on stream. I don't know why this is doing it to me, but yeah, there we go. So it's nice, and no image available. This is like the best thing that you can have. I wanted to show you how freaking cool this looks, but let's try again. I don't know why this is happening. Like, why is there no image available? Yeah. Anyways, you have to look at the small image now at the okay, now it's just not loading any images at all. This is just great. Thanks for that. Okay, so not going to look at this apparently, but I got the secret rare Ultraman poster from one of my rare hodlers. So thanks for that. One of my rare hodlers gave me the code for that. Just full transparency here, right? So I don't know if I go to collection, will I be able to show it here? No, so nothing is loading. This is just great. Maybe it's blocking or so. Maybe it's blocking some things. Let me just deactivate this. Maybe it's the Brave. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. That was the reason. Brave did block all the pictures. Yes, the images are all down on the app. Bad timing. It seemed like it, but now deactivating the Brave blocker, it actually worked. So look at that. So let's try again. Look at that. This looks amazing, right? So thank you very much to my rare hodler who gave this to me. And actually, if this would be one poster that I would like to have as a physical. I don't know if it even exists, right? But all these posters, I don't really care. But this one, like this Ultraman poster, like the colors, if I could have that and put it somewhere to the wall or so, it would be like, it would look amazing. I don't know if this exists in physical, but so I don't know, the floor price is like 37 gems, so it's not much for the 555 editions that this has. I have a 218 mint, so yeah. Anyways, I will hodl this, obviously. I mean, if in the bull run this is worth like 3,500, maybe I sell it. But otherwise, I will just hodl it, because I still expect that there's some Viviverse stuff going on, that we will be able to see stuff like that in showrooms that are a little bit more advanced. And I really want to know how this looks in the showroom. So what we could do is like we put this as a centerpiece and then all the comics around it. Yeah, that would be cool as a physical. So I don't know if there is a physical. But that would be some nice streaming scenario, don't you think? That would be really nice. So this, I got this, and let me quickly take a look at also where is the. Let me take a look at the So let's take a look at the Vivi. I think I somehow did not. Oh, there it was already. Yeah. So today is the drop of the comic today is at 5 p.m. CET is going to be with a Scotty Young cover. So there will be probably this going to sell a little more than other collectibles will because of that. Like people are chasing this variant, and it's the rare. So after a couple of tries, people should have that. So I'm not sure if I will try to go for this or if I just look at the market, but I really like these covers as well. And I know that Energy is definitely going to hit some comics there to try to get it. But potentially, I'm going to try my luck a couple of times. But we also saw that, so if we're looking at the store here, that the last comic at least, oh no, okay, it wasn't the blocker here. Again, the images are not loading. I don't know why this is happening. But the last drops, let me see if I can refresh. This is really a pain. If it doesn't refresh now, we're just going to ignore and move on. So one loaded now, I don't know, like, what was that? Is that like which drop is that? I don't know. Yeah, that is the crafting poster. So yeah, I have no means to. I cannot see which drop is which. Here we see a little bit, but okay. So this one of these is now then the again, right? It's switching position just to get on my nerves, right? Yeah. So all of them are now this. I mean, I can't deal with it. Okay, so whatever, like fuck that. Yeah, the fish is dropped. I don't think it sold out. I cannot check. The Spider-Man, the other comic that dropped also didn't sell out. So yeah, it sucks. I don't know. Maybe they have some maintenance or so at the moment. Both computer app and phone app. Yeah, okay. So no chance for us to look at that. Last thing that we can look at here is how the top 100 is doing. Here on the VVX tracker. If it doesn't have the same problems. Okay, so last update 2 days ago, but still we see that Bezosman has actually purchased quite some collectibles. So Bezosman bought over 1,000 collectibles. Number 2 chasing with 158 collectibles. Number 3 and 4 is also stacking. Even number 5, which is I think Dr. Profit, a couple of stacks here. And also like everyone, there's only one negative accumulation with -1 here on place 13. Which you cannot see, but here, like if I scroll up, you see it. And then the next one, negative accumulation, is -20 or so. So overall, collectibles are getting absorbed. So the net accumulation is actually way higher than the sales. So this is happening. Obviously, there is also dilution. I mean, if you have like a couple of thousand collectibles hitting the market per week, you also need this net accumulation of at least 1,000. So we have a 7-day net accumulation up 7%, 562 items. So still, you see that it's being bought less than is being minted, so to say. But on the other hand, if you consider that some of these are things that have been minted since a while, at some point, like this accumulation leads to higher floor prices. We just, as you see, like the M2 money supply that we just discussed on the stream is also going to result in at some point people having more money to buy the floors here on this. So this probably floors are going to move at some point, right? How is user growth? Oh yeah, let's look at user growth as well. User growth. Everything loads. Okay, user growth is relatively stagnant. I'm really happy when this big spike here from the airdrop is going out, because then we can, like, this will be then more in perspective. But user growth is like, so we had here, actually we hit 660,000 here at this point, July 27. So there is some growth due to San Diego Comic-Con. which also can be some redeem codes into empty wallets. But overall, we see here that from 24th of July, where we had 63, we gained like 50 users. So that's not too shabby. That's not too bad. This is actually better growth than it was before. Like before we were consolidating, but now from here, this is 37 to full, and then 47, 49. Yeah, so almost 50 users. So that is already good, that the unique users went up. So obviously we want to see this going up now and to not have any sell-offs anymore. So a couple of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one more week, and then this June 7 spike will go out of this measurement here, and we will have a little bit better picture of the weekly, of the daily user growth. So I think this is this is important. So we see here also, by the way, the total amount of collectibles on Veve, it is approaching 10 million, but there's still like a long way to go. It's almost 100k collectibles need to be minted still. So at some point there will be 10 million, but to be honest, like 10 million collectibles total in the app, and you have to deduct like the 1 million or so collectibles that are somewhere in bota wallets from the beginning of the run. So it's not too much overall. And if you consider like Bezosman is holding a big chunk of the supply already, and also here you have to like deduct 600,000 inactive users. So basically you have to get rid of the 6, and then our users that we have is like 60k, right? Which would coincide with the initial plan of what they had for user growth. So yeah, that is definitely a thing. But anyways, guys, that is it for today. Make sure to smash up the like button for the live stream if you enjoyed these daily crypto morning coffees. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed, with notifications on. Stay tuned for more videos and live streams, and stay tuned for Crypto Morning Coffee tomorrow as well, because tomorrow is the freaking Friday. So a happy day to every one of you today, and tomorrow we are going to discuss even more. So wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I see you in the next